Snakes, no legs, no eyelids, no problem. These slithery oddballs have been creeping people out and blowing minds for millions of years. But behind the hiss and the scales are some seriously strange secrets. Here are 10 snake facts that are so wild, they'll make you do a double take. Snakes don't have eyelids. One of the strangest things about snakes is that they don't have eyelids. Unlike humans and most animals, they can't blink or close their eyes at all. Instead, their eyes are protected by a special transparent scale called a spectacle or brill, which acts like a built-in contact lens. This clear layer stays in place permanently and is actually shed along with the rest of their skin during molting. So when a snake stares at you without blinking, it's not trying to be creepy. It literally cannot look away. Their scales are made of keratin. Snakes might look smooth and slippery, but their bodies are actually covered in tough overlapping scales. These scales are made of keratin, the same protein that makes up your fingernails, hair, and even animal horns and feathers. Keratin gives snake scales durability and flexibility, helping protect their bodies as they slither through rough terrain. Interestingly, the shape and texture of the scales can vary by species. Some snakes have smooth glossy scales that almost shine, while others have keeled scales with a ridged texture. These tiny differences can affect how the snake moves, feels, and even how well it blends into its environment. They smell with their tongue. Snakes have a super strange but highly effective way of smelling the world around them, and it involves their tongue. When a snake flicks its forked tongue in and out, it's actually collecting tiny scent particles from the air or ground. Then, it pulls its tongue back into its mouth and delivers those particles to a special organ on the roof of its mouth called the Jacobson's organ. This helps the snake detect prey, predators, and potential mates, all without relying on a traditional nose. They have no external ears. If you've ever wondered why snakes don't seem to react to sound the way other animals do, it's because they don't have external ears, no ear flaps, no eardrums like ours. But that doesn't mean they're completely deaf. Instead, snakes hear by picking up vibrations through their bodies. When something moves nearby, like footsteps or the rustling of prey, they sense those vibrations through their jawbone and inner ear structures. It's a different kind of hearing, but it's highly tuned to the kinds of signals that matter most for hunting or avoiding danger. So while they won't hear you talking, they'll definitely know if you're stomping around. Snakes are almost everywhere. Snakes are some of the most adaptable reptiles on Earth. They live on every continent except Antarctica, and you can find them in all kinds of environments, from tropical rainforests and dry deserts to grassy plains, rocky mountains, and even the ocean. Some species, like the sea snake, spend their entire lives in saltwater, while others thrive in arid regions with barely any rainfall. There are even snakes that live in trees, underground, or in freshwater lakes and rivers. This incredible adaptability is one reason why there are over 3,000 species of snakes worldwide. Wherever you go, chances are, there's a snake nearby, even if you don't see it. Not all snakes are venomous. When people think of snakes, they often picture dangerous and venomous creatures, but the truth is, most snakes aren't venomous at all. In fact, only about 15% of all snake species produce venom that can harm humans. The vast majority rely on other methods to catch and eat their prey, like constriction or simply overpowering smaller animals. Even among venomous species, most are shy and would rather avoid humans than bite. Many snakes also have venom that's specialized for subduing their prey, like frogs or rodents, but isn't strong enough to affect us. They shed their skin. Snakes don't grow into their skin, they grow out of it. As a snake gets bigger, its outer layer of skin doesn't stretch, so it needs to be replaced. This process is called shedding or ecdysis, and most snakes do it several times a year, especially when they're young and growing fast. When it's time to shed, a snake's skin becomes dull and its eyes may look cloudy or bluish due to fluid buildup between the old and new layers. Then, the snake rubs its head against a rough surface to break the old skin and wriggles out of it, usually in one long inside-out piece. Shedding doesn't just help snakes grow, it also gets rid of parasites and keeps their scales healthy and shiny. They can eat prey much larger than their heads. One of the most jaw-dropping things about snakes is their ability to swallow animals much larger than their own head, sometimes even larger than their entire body width. It's not because their jaw unhinges, as people often say, but because of how it's built. A snake's lower jaw is made of two flexible bones connected by stretchy ligaments, allowing each side to move independently. This lets them slowly walk their mouths over large prey. They also don't chew, instead, they use strong muscles to push the meal down whole. It might take hours, or even days, to fully digest, but that one meal can keep them full for weeks, or even months. They use their ribs to move. Snakes may not have legs, but they're far from helpless when it comes to getting around. In fact, their entire body is built for motion. Snakes have hundreds of ribs, some species have over 300, and these ribs are connected to muscles that help them push against the ground. By coordinating muscle contractions along their long bodies, snakes can slither forward, climb trees, swim through water, or even sidewind across sand. Each rib acts almost like a tiny limb, helping them grip surfaces and propel themselves smoothly. It's a brilliant system of movement that doesn't require a single foot. They play a crucial role in the ecosystem. Snakes aren't just fascinating, they're essential. As predators, they help keep populations of rodents, insects, and other small animals in check, preventing overpopulation and the spread of disease. And as prey, they provide food for birds of prey, mammals, and even other snakes. In some ecosystems, removing snakes can cause the whole food web to wobble. So whether they slither through forests, deserts, or your backyard garden, snakes are doing important work, quietly keeping nature in balance. Snakes might get a bad rap, but there's no denying they're some of the most fascinating creatures on the planet. From their incredible adaptations to their vital role in nature, these reptiles deserve a little more love. If you enjoyed these slithery surprises, be sure to like, subscribe, and stick around for more wild facts coming your way.